friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS editorial analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any important concepts have been covered in the editorial and are important from exam point of view, we also discuss that. So let us begin today's editorial. Today's editorial has been taken from the Indian Express and it has appeared on 20th of May. The title of the editorial is One Conflict Less, and it talks about the resolution of standoff between the top Afghan leaders, and it says that it is an important moment amid the continuing violence and COVID-19 pandemic. So we find that it directly links with GS paper 2, where we have international relations as an important topic. And under international relations, it is concerned with India and its neighborhood relations because it deals with Afghanistan, also with India-Afghanistan bilateral relations, and also about the regional and global groupings which are trying to ensure peace in Afghanistan. So after establishing this linkage with the UPSC syllabus, now let us look at its key points. First of all, let's have a very clear idea of where Afghanistan is in the map. So here we have Afghanistan and here is Kabul and some other important places in Afghanistan like Kandahar, Herat, Mazar-e-Sharif, and the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan is known as the Durand Line. This is important. And Afghanistan shares its border with 6 countries. And which are these 6 countries? First of all, we have Iran, then we have Turkmenistan, then we have Uzbekistan, then we have Tajikistan, and then we have China, which also shares this land border. And then we have 6th as Pakistan. India, though, was sharing its border with Afghanistan earlier, but now because this area of India is under the illegal occupation of Pakistan, so therefore India is not sharing a direct land link as of now. So after seeing its location on map, now let us look at the key points. Now let us look at the key points of the editorial. And the editorial is focused on the recent political deal signed between the President Ashraf Ghani and Mr. Abdullah Abdullah. And the deal was required because both of them had claimed victory in the elections which took place in September 2019. And these elections were marked by a very low voter turnout. Plus, there were also allegations of voting irregularities. And that is why Mr. Abdullah Abdullah wanted a re-election or a recounting of votes because the margin was also very less. But the Election Commission of Afghanistan in December 2019 declared President Ghani as the winner of this election. But Mr. Abdullah Abdullah refused to accept him as the winner. So this created a deadlock in the Afghan government, which further undermined the legitimacy of the Afghan government. And this was at a time when the Taliban was getting an upper hand and prominence because it was engaging in direct talks with the US. And because the US wanted to withdraw its troops from Afghanistan, US realized that this could happen only when the Taliban comes on board and assures the security of US and its allies in Afghanistan. And the Taliban also realized that it is only when the US leaves Afghanistan that Taliban can hope to gain control over the whole territory of Afghanistan. So the both sides, driven by their self-interest, decided to enter into an agreement which came together on February 29 in Doha, which is also known as the Doha Agreement. And this took place in Doha because the government of Qatar has provided political sanctuary to Taliban and it has allowed Taliban to have a political office in Doha. India had also sent its representatives to witness the signing of this Doha Agreement. Though India has been consistently not talking with Taliban because it considers it to be a terrorist coup, and also because India supports and backs the Afghan government. But now many experts are wanting India to reconsider its position in the light of Taliban getting prominence and because intra-Afghan dialogue is supposed to start, which will definitely give a lot of prominence to Taliban. And if India still continues to not engage with Taliban, then India will lose its strategic depth in Afghanistan and Pakistan will be the beneficiary. The editorial has pointed out that this deal between President Ashraf Ghani and Abdullah Abdullah, it shows that a difficult political deadlock over power sharing can be resolved without recourse to violence and through give and take on both sides. And this is the spirit in which the intra-Afghan dialogue should also take place, where Taliban and the Afghan government, they both engage in some give and take to make sure that there is a peaceful resolution of the conflict. And under this power sharing deal, President Ghani will continue to remain the president of Afghanistan, while Mr. Abdullah will not hold any official position in the government, but he has been made the chairman of High Council of National Reconciliation, which will be the apex body for leading the Afghan government in the intra-Afghan dialogue, as and when they start with Taliban. So this is an important position for Abdullah, and also he has been given this power to nominate half of the cabinet of President Ghani. In this way, by this give and take, both President Ghani and Abdullah have reconciled to work together. And the editorial says that this power sharing deal has resulted in one less conflict in Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is fighting on multiple fronts. One is the Taliban with its increased attacks on the Afghan security forces to gain an upper hand before the negotiations start. The other is the threat posed by Islamic State of Khorasan province, and this terrorist group Islamic State of Khorasan province has been attacking public facilities as well as minorities and indulging in widespread violence. And the third challenge comes from this COVID-19 pandemic, because Afghanistan borders Iran, which has been a hotspot of COVID-19 pandemic. And through this porous border, many Afghan people have returned, and now they are spreading the infection inside Afghanistan. And the healthcare facilities of Afghanistan have been ravaged by 4 decades of war. So the healthcare facilities are in very poor shape, and due to this continuing violence, government is not able to launch a proper challenge to this COVID-19 pandemic. And as of May 19, there were 7,600 cases, which seems to be a case of high underreporting. And it requires a better public health response, but it is very low down in the priority of all major players which are involved in Afghanistan. So this was all in the key points of the editorial. Now let us look at the concepts to learn. We'll look at the Doha Agreement between US and Taliban, and also about the India-Afghanistan relations. Now let us look at the February 29 pact between US and Taliban, which is also known as Doha Agreement because it was signed in Doha, Qatar, where Taliban is allowed to maintain a political office. Now this peace agreement between US and Taliban calls for US and NATO troops to leave Afghanistan and Taliban to ensure that the US and its allies are not attacked using the Afghan territory. But after signing of this agreement, the US has been trying to get the Taliban and Afghan government to begin this intra-Afghan dialogue, which is very critical for ensuring lasting peace in Afghanistan. But the political turmoil and the personal acrimony or the personal bitterness between Abdullah and President Ghani impeded the talks. Now after this power sharing agreement between Abdullah and President Ghani, it is hoped that the intra-Afghan negotiations would now start soon. And the US was forced into signing this peace deal with Taliban because despite 18 years of its presence and billions of dollars spent in Afghanistan, there was no peace and the domestic opinion in US was turning against this war. Also, despite billions of dollars being pumped in international aid in Afghanistan, it still remains desperately poor, and the poverty rate has only increased in Afghanistan, as can be seen from this statistic that 35% of the population was below poverty line in 2012, while it has increased to 55% in 2019. And poverty in Afghanistan is defined as a person who survives on less than $1 a day. And the international agencies have also pointed fingers at the successive Afghan governments which have been accused of widespread corruption, and that is why the aid has actually not reached the common Afghan people. It has been siphoned off by the high officials. And another major challenge is the country's healthcare system, which has been devastated by 4 decades of war and is simply not prepared for COVID-19 pandemic. So Afghanistan finds itself in a very difficult position. Now let us look at what is India's stand on this agreement reached between President Ghani and Abdullah. So Indian government has welcomed the agreement between Ghani and Abdullah. It has said that the move is expected to speed up the intra-Afghan dialogue, and India has also called for an immediate ceasefire to help the Afghanistan government and the public deal with this COVID-19 pandemic. Also, India has always supported a peace process in Afghanistan, which is Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled. So this has been India's stand, but as things have shaped in Afghanistan, it seems that the peace process is neither led nor owned simply not controlled by Afghanistan. So now let us look at the kind of questions that can be asked related to this editorial in PT and mains. So in PT, one can be asked about the neighboring countries of Afghanistan, how many are there. Then one can be also asked about the February 29 or the Doha Pact between US and Taliban, where it was signed. And also one can be asked about the High Council for National Reconciliation that has been constituted and who is heading it. So Mr. Abdullah is heading it. Now in mains, one can be asked about India-Afghanistan relations in detail, that what is the background and how the relations have evolved over the years. And there can be a question on India's approach towards Taliban, because so far India has refused to engage directly with Taliban, but in the changed circumstances, maybe India will also need to revisit its stance, because otherwise India will be losing the strategic depth in Afghanistan to Pakistan. So these are the kind of questions on which one should be prepared. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.